It's time for World Record of the Week. Everyone's the best at least one thing. It's a World Record of the Week. It's nice to tell somebody else about world records. I've told Ben about a lot recently. And I've got a lot this week. I've got a lot of records, so we're going to just go through them relatively quick. You can ask a few questions if you want. I've read about all of them in quite detail, so I can tell you if you want to know about any of them. So the first record of this week was the longest mini train or miniature train track ever made. How long? I've got it in feet, which is not all that helpful, but you can tell me any measurement you want. Tell me how long you think it is.
I think it's going to be absolutely monstrous. I'm going for 4,500 feet.
4,500 feet.
Yeah.
You've way undercooked it. You were right, it is monstrous. God. It is 51,558 feet and 4.78 inches. Yeah, you are well below what it actually was. It's an incredible thing. I was having a look at the video of this. It's a German set, which has actually just broken its own record. It was already the record holder, and they've added a shit ton to it, so it's even bigger now.
I hope it's not just one train going round, and you've got to wait for it to go around.
It's very much not that. Imagine if it was, though. That would be so shit. Yeah. It is not that. So they've got about, I think there's 8 or 9 sections, and there's all these different, so they're all based on different countries. So there's a Swiss bit where there's like aqueducts and like bridges that go from mountain to mountain. It's awesome. So cool. There's a bit that's Germany, I think. There's a bit that's, I think they've got France. There's all these different it's all like modelled on very small scales of real places. Monaco is the one that they've just added, which has allowed them to break the record again.
Nice.
But what really characterises it is all these like lovely little jokes that they've got in there. So there's like a bit where there's a UFO that comes down that all like abducts someone, and it's all on like timed things, so that there's no one touching anything. It just happens. There's all on like wires and stuff. Oh, it's so cool. And there's a little bit where there's some bank robbers on the other side of some police, like like aiming at them, and they're behind the wall, like trying to be quiet. It's so good. It's such like I really actually want to go and see it. It's somewhere in Germany, and apparently they have 300 staff working on it at any one point.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I assume it's in a museum or something.
Yeah, I think it is an attraction in itself. I think it's something to go and see, which I genuinely will go and see at some point. I really want to see it. It's so cool.
Nice. The
record for the fastest lift or elevator for our American listeners was broken this week. Is the Hitachi lift in Guangzhou CTF Finance Center, Guangzhou, China. That's right. It covers 95 floors. Do you want to guess how fast in meters? Well, no, you can give me it in miles per hour. How fast its maximum speed is?
I have been in the previous fastest lift.
Have you?
And I've got to think. I think it was in Malaysia or Singapore.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Meters per second. I'm going to say it took 11 seconds, something like that, to get up all the floors.
Mm-hmm. When you were in, is this the Malaysian one?
Yeah. How many would that be? Like 10 floors a second. I'm going to say 15 meters a second. I think I'm way under.
Did you say 50 or 15?
1.5, but I've gone way under. What's the answer?
1.5. The answer is 21 meters per second, or 47 miles per hour. So you weren't miles out, but I guess in meters per second you are quite a long way out.
Quick.
Yeah, it is crazy quick, isn't it? I wasn't expecting you to have been in one. How was it? How did it feel to have been in a really fast lift? Does it like
you can feel your ears visibly, like not visibly, you can feel your ears physically sort of getting affected by the change in altitude.
That sounds. I don't like the thought of it, to be honest. Going fast in a straight line horizontally.
Your head as you go up, and it might just be the speed. It's weird. Yeah.
I don't like it. So I'm not going there. So that's good. That's one I can cross off the list. Another one I could go to is the Fleece Inn in Bretforton in Worcestershire, and they this week gathered the biggest gathering of people called Nigel in the world. They broke the record for
it. That's such a British thing to do.
An incredibly British record to break, isn't it? They broke it by gathering 433 people called Nigel. I'm not sure what the previous record was. I'm not even sure if there was one. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
they
probably had a record of one.
Yeah, well, there's always
just had to beat that.
There's got to be at least one, isn't there? I can't break it, but anyone called Nigel could break the one for one. Apparently, there's no British Nigels born in 2016, and that was why they did this, is to try and bring the name Nigel back into the zeitgeist.
I know how to bring the name Nigel back. It's to get all of us together and to
in one room,
have a seance.
really think about it.
Yeah, they've nailed that.
Yeah, they reckon that it's because of the Nigel who shall not be named. Farage.
Nigel. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had literally no idea.
That's who they reckon has halted. It's like Adolf. There's no kids called Adolf these days for that same reason.
I'm
maybe
sure
not
there
the
is
same
some
level.
neo-Nazi somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, there's almost certainly some Adolfs, and there probably will be some Nigels starting soon, I reckon. The way it's going.
I find the fact that there's not a single Nigel in 2016 born in 2016 is crazy. That's a good stat.
Yeah, it's quite incredible, isn't it? Like, it's not like my uncle's called Nigel. It's not that uncommon a name, I didn't think, but it's kind of, you think of it as an old person name, I suppose, don't you?
Yeah, but not to extinction.
No, I wouldn't have thought it would go extinct, but it has. Paul Erstein, I think it is. Paul Erstein, a South African man. He is going to try and break the record for going to the most games of a Rugby World Cup. He's going to 36 of the 48 matches in the Rugby World Cup. It's going to cost him $33,000 to do. And that is quite an investment, isn't it, to get into the record book?
That is. I expected it to be more, but that is a very good effort.
Really?
Because he'd have to go to multiple stadiums different times. So he'd have to go from sort of A to B to C and then back to A and then back to C and then,
I think he's probably at the pool stage. I'm not sure if he could catch all three of the pool games, because all he has to do, apparently, so the way he verifies it is he has to have a ticket stub, obviously. He has to have a photo at the anthems, and he has to have two witnesses that that say he was there, and that's it. So all you have to do is, I guess, be there at the anthems, and then you can immediately get on a train.
That would be pretty bad. That would not be enjoyable to see the anthems and then go to the next game.
That's what I was thinking. I'm not sure how much fun this would be, I gotta be honest. Like, some of these world record attempts are like, oh yeah, that might be quite fun, or it might be, at least it's something random to do. But this is taking something, he loves rugby, and he is taking something that he loves and not doing it properly. Like, he's not going to watch the games.
Yeah, kind of bastardising it.
Yeah, I'm not actually that happy with him. So fuck you, Paul. You can go away. Dan Simpson. This is a record that you. No, I don't think you could break it, but it's a record you might be interested in. Dan Simpson, an afternoon DJ on Fun Kids Radio, correctly identified 27 Taylor Swift songs by the first lyric.
I would love to give that a go.
Yeah, so you there was a time when you were a bit of a Taylor Swift fan, wasn't there?
Weirdly, my dad, who has turned 70 already, he loves Taylor Swift.
Oh, I bet he does. He's not the only one. She's a very big artist.
Yeah, I didn't know she had 27 songs.
Nor me. But apparently he listened to her albums for a month on end, this DJ, before doing the challenge. So I guess she has been around quite a while, hasn't she?
That's also something, and that's also something you could just learn. Yeah. So you just learn the whole discography, play the first word. Yeah, I mean, know the name.
That is all it is. There was somebody reading out the lyrics, and he would just say, "This is this song. This is this song." So actually, all you need to know is the first sort of 3 or 4 words of each song. That's all you need to know.
I know what we're doing. I know what we're doing in France this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to break that record. 27. Oh, we're going for 28.
28.
A record that I genuinely would love to break is the go-kart. So there was a go-kart driven for 24 hours in Des Moines, Iowa, and he broke the record for the most amount of miles driven in a go-kart. Do you want to guess how many miles he drove? Around a proper track, not in a straight line or anything. This is around like a proper go-kart track with like weaving around stuff.
Normal go-kart?
Yes, unmodified.
As in, like, does it have a... Okay, I was going to say, because if you put a massive tank in it, you could just get it going.
Yeah, no, it had... this is a good question, actually. They are petrol-driven, aren't they, go-karts?
Yeah, they're definitely.
So they must have had to stop for
fuel.
Yeah, they must have had to stop for fueling. Apparently, they stopped every 20 laps to change driver anyway. So maybe they fueled up at that point.
Okay, and so it's continuous laps with those breaks in how long, or was it just
24 hours?
Was it distance or number of laps? Sorry.
Distance. In miles.
Okay, let's say 30 miles per hour, 24 hours. I'll say 700 miles.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark. A little bit too much. It was 546.
Ooh.
But not far off. That's a pretty good go.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard, isn't it? I reckon. Endurance racing.
Good effort.
Yeah, endurance racing is hard, but go-kart racing, is very quick. There's very quick turns and stuff, isn't it? It's not much. You can't really go that slowly in go-karts. That's my feeling about them.
If they got to change every 20 minutes, that's their only saving grace.
Yeah.
Is that they got to switch.
Yeah, it didn't tell me how many people were in the team. They told me it was a team of people, but it didn't say how many. So, you could have had 20 people in the team maybe, so that you were literally just doing 20 laps and then go to sleep. Yeah. 24 hours is not that long either, so you don't technically need to sleep in 24 hours, do you really? You could do it on your own.
I think they could do that. I think they could do that in a team of 3.
Yeah.
And they get 40 minutes off, 20 minutes on.
Yeah.
And then just do it 24 times.
Yeah, and have little naps, maybe power naps between goes. Yeah.
Should have gone further, really.
Yeah. Rubbish. Again, another thing for us to do in France. We've got a friend on this podcast. He doesn't know he's our friend, but he is our friend. David Rush. He's a friend of this segment. You've heard of David. Of course you have. Everyone has. He is a prolific world record breaker. He has over 100 world records, and he's done another one this week. He has broken a record very similar to, actually I think it's probably similar to one you've heard from last week. So did you hear about the Kiwis that he cut?
No.
Oh, was that the week before?
I heard about a tortilla thrower.
Oh, yes, that was last week's. Yes, so you haven't heard about the Kiwis. So the week before his tortilla throwing, he balanced on an exercise ball, a gym ball, and had a samurai sword in his hands and cut kiwis that were being thrown at him.
Have you played the game Fruit Ninja?
Exactly that. That's exactly what he was doing.
So he's playing Fruit Ninja.
Yes, okay. He's doing Fruit Ninja, and he's done it again. But this week, he did it on a rollerboard. I wasn't sure what a rollerboard was, but it's basically it's like a tube with a board that sort of goes side to side, a bit like like a seesaw, effectively. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he was stood on that, and with a samurai sword again, obviously, cutting grapes that were thrown at him.
How many grapes do you do?
Do you want to guess? In a minute?
In a minute?
Yep. And they had to be fully cut.
Okay, and there's going to be rules on how far away the thrower is and things like that.
I can tell you the thrower was 2 meters away.
Oh, okay.
And the sword is about a meter long.
Yeah, I would have just cut the thrower.
Yeah, it looks pretty dangerous, I'll be honest. You've got a lot of trust. The exercise ball one was worse, because the exercise ball could go forwards. Yeah,
a rollerball
can at least only go side to side. Yeah.
On the rollerboard, even if you got it fairly stable, or I'm going to say it's not as high as I expect. I'm going to say, I'm just cutting grapes in my head. 27.
You think 27 grapes in a minute? You've not met David Rush before. He got 57 in a minute.
Unbelievable.
70 grapes were thrown, and apparently he made contact with every grape, but
he just didn't. Some bounce off.
Yeah, so the sword, although the sword is super sharp, grapes are very, very light, obviously. If he sort of caught it not in the sweet spot of his swing, it would just bounce off, and apparently 13 of them did, but 57 were cut. The previous record was only 18, so he absolutely smashed it.
Good effort, David Rush.
Yeah.
But I've underestimated you.
You did. You can never underestimate David. You cannot. It's a fatal error. But that isn't World Record of the Week. although he's been world record of the week too many times, so we had to go
Has he
somewhere
got
else.
the world record for most world records of the week now?
Do you know? Oh, for world record of the weeks, yes, he has on this show at least. So good work, David. That's another one to add to the pile. No, so the world record this week was from Global Cycling Network, a YouTube channel, and it was set by Chris Opie, one of the presenters. He rode a, what's it called? Penny farthing.
Penny farthing.
Yeah, have you seen this one? Oh, you've seen it.
I think I already know this, but go for it.
He rode a penny farthing around a velodrome for an hour in Derby. And do you know how far he rode?
I don't know how far I rode, but I actually am really sad and watch a lot of YouTube, and this came through my YouTube maybe 6 months ago.
6 months ago? That they were going to do...
But the one I watched, he failed, so maybe he's gone and done it and actually beaten it.
Yeah, that might well be the case then, because I think you're right. I think they did say that they had a failed attempt previous to this. Yes, they have broken it this week.
Awesome.
Do you want to guess how far he went on a penny farthing in an hour? Around a velodrome?
They do stupid amounts when they do it on a bike.
Probably not as quick on a penny farthing, you think, when you one tiny wheel at the back.
It's still pretty funny. They have penny farthing clubs where they have like helmets and lycra suits on a penny farthing. It's
really good. I mean, that's what this guy was wearing. Yeah, he was wearing like proper performance stuff, and it was like a performance penny farthing as well. It wasn't like
with like aero bars and stuff like that.
So, sort of, yeah. Like it was made out of like proper what you'd think carbon fibre. Maybe it was made what you'd think a bike would be made out of.
50. I've had a think. 52 kilometres 52 kilometres.
52 kilometres in the hour.
Oh,
you've overdone it.
Way more.
You've overdone it way more. He could only do 34.5, which was just about enough. Apparently, it was only just enough to break the record. So I guess it's really hard.
Yeah, I love that sort of record. It's something that you would, in modern day, you would never ever do that, but you've seen it in a book somewhere and thought, I'll have a go.
You wouldn't do it by accident, would you? It's the sort of thing you've got to set out to do that one. So good work, Chris.